Welcome in for the superhero edition of All in the Charts. I am the Crypto Bull God. Please hit the thumbs up button, drop me a comment, and make sure that you click the bell icon for all notifications to know when I go live each and every single weekday. Guys, when I wear this shirt, I just feel like a I feel like a superhero. This feels like an emblem. Like this is like the Superman S. You know, that's how it feels. It's this gold blue B emblem. That's how I feel. And I'm feeling fucking fantastic seeing a $10 super chat coming by from Black Oil. Cheers to you, Greg. Appreciate you, brother. Let's fucking go, says Greg. Hit them likes. Could not agree more. Need the engagement. Also, CBG, my brother. I am your crypto brother. Based off of fibs and your TA, what range do you think Quant and Tau could top at this cycle? As always, you're appreciated. Thank you, man. Thank you, my friend. We'll take a look at Tau. Quant, I've actually already addressed that. If you take a look at let me point it to you, Greg. Nothing has changed on Quant. I already did some TA analysis there. If you go back... Cheers. If we go back in time when the market was a little more salty. Of course, people are still like, it amazes me. Bitcoin's like barely under $70,000 and people are like disinterested in the market. Fucking crazy. Greg and everyone here, if you would like to get my thoughts on where I see Quant going. Where the hell is this video? Wow, I made this a while ago. When the hell did I make this? Is it November 22? Yeah, go back. It's this video right here. This really didn't get a lot of views. This one right here. Right here. This video was made in... When the hell was this made? Let me see. Greg, if you go back to my videos, it's not a live. It was a published video, Quant to $1,000 or $100. I published that on October 29th, 2022. Nothing has changed. Under my TA, nothing has fundamentally changed in that chart. And I know off the top of my head for Quant, I was targeting numbers that were just shy of 1,000 to just over 1,000. Like I created a range. I'm pretty sure it was like 800 to 1,200, somewhere in there. So I think Quant, based on relative, where is Quant at the moment? La la la. La la la. I'm high on life, people. Yeah, I think... And did I put a target box up here? Didn't I? No? I mean, essentially all you do... I mean, you can watch the video, but my video should correlate to this. From bottom to top to bottom here. Now, recognizing this was only your first impulsive structure, so the next... if you believe in Elliott wave, then you would believe we're in the midst of creating a third impulsive wave structure up, which tends to be the largest of all of them. So it wouldn't be shocking to see. I mean, $700 for me is a minimum target. So you're talking about a 6x from where we're at. But that seems very underwhelming. I mean, we hit 429. I would more so target this $1,100 to $1,500 area, which is the 268 to 368. So I think it's reasonable to say, hey, something a little over $1,000. I think that's very reasonable. That would put you at a 10x from current levels. And we'll take a look at Tau next. Let me get into the comments, though. Let me see who's in the live stream. Greg, appreciate, as I always say, never expected, always appreciated on the Super Chat, guys. Hope everybody's having a great day. Juan, you are the fucking man. You are always first to this live stream dropping me a comment. Let's fucking go. I'm a little amped up today. As you can tell, I got a little more energy today. I'm a little more with it today. I feel good. I feel positive. I feel good. I'll just leave it at that. CBG, you talked about your exit strategy, but what's your strategy during the next bear market? Dude, let's not talk about that yet. Let's not. No. Appreciate the question, but we're not going there. We will talk about that when the time is right. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. In all seriousness, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's keep our eye on the prize. Mamba mentality. Nothing has happened. I haven't sold shit. So everything I look at in my portfolio is unrealized gains. It doesn't exist. All right? It doesn't exist. So let's not talk about the bear market. Ugh, I hate even saying the word. Let's not talk about that type of market until that type of market surfaces. I know. I appreciate it. Evan hasn't showed up yet, so he hasn't bombarded the comments with his 5,000. No matter how many times I ask that guy to not blow up the comments, he always says, oof! Let's fucking go. Please look at SPY. It fell off a cliff into the close. I will. Yeah, I noticed we weren't an uptrend. Or everything was up, and then all of a sudden, market's been, looks like selling off. So I don't know what's going on. Okay, so we're going to take a look at SPY. We're going to take a look at TAO. Now, guys, today is TA Q&A, right? So drop your TA questions. I'm going to take them in the order they are received. Obviously, I'm going to prioritize Super Chats, so we're going to get to Greg first, and then we're going to get to Oof. Let's see who else we have. Donkey, welcome in, my friend. Bitcoin Fear and Greed is at 70 right now. Last bull run, we weren't officially breaking out above. Yeah, I know the Fear and Greed is anywhere near the levels we would expect it to be if we're breaking up, having that green Jesus candle. What's up, Track, man? Good to see you. Yeah, man, I got energy today, man. I'm feeling good. Feeling real good today. No, this isn't pre-workout. Somebody said to me today, felt really good. The older you get, the more you appreciate these types of comments. And when you go through a significant surgery like I had, and you felt like complete shit, and were questioning a lot of things, and you can come back from that stronger than ever, you appreciate comments like this. Man, what did he say again? This guy at the gym today said, man, you're an animal. And I said, not bad for a guy who's 42, eh? And he's like, the fuck? I was like, what the fuck? So I always love getting the feedback that people are amazed at my age. It just makes me feel good. It really does, because clearly I'm doing something right. Frankie, always good to see you, my friend. I remember NXRA, Jorge. I have not forgotten about you. I promise we're going to get to it today. BCK is in the fucking house. Welcome in. I got to get some new Ghetto Mother Blasters. Okay. I don't know what the hell's going on. Rashid, man, it's always good to see you. Always happy to have you on the live stream. Corporate crypto bull god. Yeah, man. No corporate crypto bull god today. Corporate crypto bull god by day. Dude, if people knew, like, the reality is, if I was really paranoid about it, I wouldn't come out here and show my face. I would be audio only. This would be an auditory live stream, but I don't give two fucks at the end of the day. If somebody finds me in my profession, it is what it is, right? But sometimes I have kind of like thought to myself, like, because when I'm at work, and I obviously am a business professional, and I am in many ways very different from who you see on the live stream. Similarities, still some similarities, but very different in many respects, right? But I quite often think to myself, Christ, if people saw me outside of work, either in the gym or doing my live stream, holy wow. But this is what makes us who we are and well-rounded people, right? Do you really think the people you see from 9 to 5 really are that way the entire fucking day? That would be boring, right? No way, okay? Outside the corporate structure, we're all a little different. I just happen to love crypto and call myself the crypto bull god. And once in a while, dress up as the macho man. And we haven't gotten to that part of the cycle yet for those who are unfamiliar. At some point, true CBG fashion will come out. That is not lost on me, and it will not be lost on you. All right, let's get into the charts. Greg's asking me for a Tau projection. Greg, I'm surprised you're asking me about Tau. I wanted to talk about Casper first before we get into Tau because Casper is the reigning first ever annual crypto tournament champion. I forget what I named it, but Casper did defeat Tau. Just saying, it did defeat Tau. Let's get it. Well, Bitcoin. We can take a look at Bitcoin here. Bitcoin just continues to range. It looks like I think the term for it is I'm gonna mess this up. What type of correction this is? I always confuse the two name wise, but it looks like we could be entering a consolidation phase here with higher lows coming in and lower highs. And eventually, I mean, we're either going to push up or push down. That's what seemingly is going on here. Of course, you know what camp I'm in, but we're just consolidating. Again, my educated guess, if you guys missed this, is that we're going to see some sort of a massive move, either by as early as next week when people aren't expecting it, or by the 15th, the week of the 15th. I don't think we're going to go... we could. Now, don't get me wrong. We could. It wouldn't shock me this month if we get some impulsive move up, to 78 or something like that and pull back before the end of the month, create an indecision candle, and then really explode up in May. Who knows? In the grand scheme of things, the thing I try to get you guys to focus on is it doesn't matter. If you're focused in on the higher time frames, it's conjecture. I mean, we can sit here, we can debate on the lower time frames. Is Bitcoin going to make a massive move next week? Is it going to be tomorrow? Is it going to be 2 weeks from now? It doesn't matter if you're focused on the higher time frames. But it does provide for interesting conversations since you guys choose to spend your part of your day. Time is the most valuable possession that we have. The most valuable commodity that we have is time. You choose to spend 30 minutes with me each and every single day, which I cannot thank you enough for. And so we like to talk about it, but it doesn't matter in this grand scheme of things, all right? Did want to take a moment in all seriousness before we get into Tau talking about Caspa. Now, this view, I haven't touched this. This is my rough expectation for Caspa. As you can see, it's pretty much doing what I had spoken to. Generally outlining here, we're just going to continue kind of coming down here. And then eventually I expect to break up a retest and then just, an explosive move up. Now, I did tweet out today. I don't tweet shit that I don't follow through with, okay? So I either made the purchase before I posted or right after I posted. Quite frankly, I forget. But didn't think it would happen, but it's absolutely happening. I pulled the trigger on a significant CAS purchase today. Guys, my view is right here on Caspa. And we can look back on this 4, 5, 6 months from now. But I believe, and especially given some of the movements I'm anticipating coming into the market as early as this month, as late as next month, it could be even as many. I mean, again, when these impulsive moves happen in the market, it's like that. You consolidate for weeks and weeks and weeks, and then within 2, 3 weeks, you're up a 3x already. Been here way too long to see it happen. But for me, evaluating the chart, which I'm going to very quickly go through, because I want to get to your questions. Caspa, to me right now, the opportunity to scoop more up underneath 13 cents at 12.8 cents, which is where I bought it, it is very reminiscent to me of August of 2023 when I scooped up a boatload. My average entry was actually at 3.5 cents for all of my Caspa purchases last year. So it's very reminiscent buying at 12.8 cents as 3.5 cents. So we'll see if that works out. But as you can see here, this chart, but the weekly, again, I don't know what else to tell you. I really don't even think I need to say much on this chart. If we look at the relativity value charts and we're comparing to Solana, Ethereum, and Bitcoin, we're at a critical level here where, in my opinion, we've bottomed. If we haven't bottomed, you might see one small deviation and then a strong move up. Again, same thing here. We're bottoming right in this region here, which was our prior top. And then if you go to the Ethereum chart, again, we're creating a solid... Now we broke this upwards ascending line here, which I could care less about. But what I do care about is we continue building the higher highs and higher lows, and we have this major area of price confluence here, okay? So no reason we couldn't come down to here, see a slight deviation, and then a move up. But this thing has, to me, when I evaluate these charts on Caspa, it is screaming that if we haven't bottomed, we are at the precipice of a bottom, and you're not going to see these prices again. So that is why I did not expect to buy Caspa at 12.8 cents. I was not anticipating that, but I did. Let's take a look at Tau. And again, if you have the view on this asset like I do, and it's at least going to get to the top 20 to 15, I don't know why the fuck you wouldn't be buying some. Okay. Now, the question that's being asked here, specifically is where I could see this going. I feel like I'm by myself right now in my office evaluating the chart. I don't think this move is done, actually. I feel like this move here isn't done. I mean, ultimately, Greg, I don't think this move here, I feel like this is not done. This is incomplete. Came right back to the 0.786 fib retracement. I don't think this structure here doesn't look finished to me personally. So I think this impulsive structure that we're seeing here isn't completed. We could see this thing top out maybe towards the 2.618 or the 3.618, which would put it more up towards... See how we topped here? And you can see how I'm measuring from the bottom here to the top here. And we hit this 1.618 fib extension perfectly, basically. I mean, it topped out right below 760. I don't think this to me doesn't look like, this thing looks like it's just consolidating in here and still waiting for one last sort of gasp up before it does make some sort of a significant correction. So if I had to take my educated guess, I would be targeting this area before we would see some sort of a major pullback somewhere towards the $1,100 to, we'll call it $1,500 area. That would be my best guess. Now, the other thing you can do, because the question you're asking me, Greg, is you're asking me where it could top out at this cycle, which if you follow the analysis I did for Caspa on how I projected out $2 to $4, it wasn't me coming on this chart and using fib extensions to come up with that. I created what I would consider a very think outside the box, value-added video, very logical approach to coming up with a hypothetical price range, right? So I'd have to do the same thing for Tau, but what you could do, right? Let me just, very simplistically, let me just show you how I would arrive very quickly on the spot, right? Beyond the initial price target that I gave you between 1,100 and 1,500. If we look at Tau today, okay, and we can see that BitSensor is ranked number 32. It has a $3.8 billion market cap. What you could do is evaluate this similarly to how I approached Caspa, right? You could ask the question, assuming a static, I don't know how the supply works for Tau, but assuming a constant supply, if that isn't a material assumption, and we make a rather simplistic assumption, okay, for ease of calculation, if it's not material to the overall value, if we assume the denominator, which is the supply, the number of tokens, is constant, all right, the real question is how high will the denominator get? How high will the market cap get, basically? So if you think this thing's going to get into the top 20, and I forget what the $1 billion range I gave was, something towards Litecoin all the way up towards Chainlink. If you think that it's reasonable, let's just use a nice round figure. If you think it's reasonable for Tau to hit a $50 billion market cap, then you're essentially talking about, I'm not going to do the math in my head, 50 divided by 3 point, I mean, it's really not rocket science. Actually, rocket science isn't that technical. Guys, look up rocket science. Actuarial science gets a lot more technical than rocket science. It's really not that technical. $50 billion divided by 3.85 is a 13x. It's a 13x, right? So if we take 13 and we multiply it by the 588, call it 589, I mean, it gives you a $7,600 price target for Tau, which sounds crazy, but if you've ever seen this market move, it's not. So one of the things I would ask yourself when you're, because I know you have deep conviction in Tau, okay, and it's been an incredible performer, right? Higher market cap than Caspa at the moment. What you should ask yourself is, how high do I ultimately, what's my conviction on where this thing's going to land from a market cap ranking perspective? And then based on that, let's say you say it's going to land at spot 20, where would you project that roughly spot 20 to be in terms of valuation, okay? And I think in order to do that, you have to take things a step further. You have to evaluate the market from past cycles to see how much this range has appreciated in value, how much greater level of appreciation you're seeing this time around, and also using some coins in this area here, like Litecoin, that you don't think are going to lose their relative position. You can project out their prices and what their associated market caps would be. I see people drifting off in the viewers, so I'm gonna speed things up here. But that's how I would come up with that, Greg. So so if you think it's, for example, going to a $50 billion market cap, it's not unreasonable to see this thing go over $7,000, which is a 13x from here. So that is what I would say. It's one of the hardest things to do. And it's going to get, that's the challenging thing with newer assets. If you can't look left and you have no price data to go off of, all you're doing are theoretical calculations like that and fib extensions. And to the degree that you use fib extensions, you're not going to be able to use fib extensions fully until some of the price data begins to map out, right? Because you need some impulsive structures to come in and corrective structures to then map out your trend-based fib extensions off of that, right? Because we're not going to see one impulsive structure come up for the altcoins. I think there's going to be two. We'll see if that holds true. So what I'm getting at, and I think I've shared this with you guys before, I don't think there's going to be one alt season. I think there's going to be two. I think there's going to be two quote-unquote alt seasons. Let's see here. Oh, questions. SPY. I think it was it Oof? Yeah, you had a question on SPY. Sorry about that. Well, the S&P, I don't know what the fuck happened here. It's down 1%. That was an ugly ass candle. I don't know what came in today. Was there some news that came out or anything like that? I don't know. Oof. What's going on here? But I wouldn't get too caught up in it, because what I would do when in doubt, zoom out. Again, if you look at the monthly here, again, I don't have any major concerns here. Again, I would always zoom out and look at some of these higher time frames on the monthly 2-week chart, and you can see here there's nothing to be concerned about. I mean, it's like if you're concerned about a monthly candlestick at this point, you'd be in the same boat as Peter Schiff, who came out and posted earlier on Twitter about Bitcoin being down like 7% in the second quarter. of 2024. We're 4 days into the second quarter. What the fuck is this guy on? Like, what drugs is this guy on? I think some of the times I used to interact with him more, and I'm kind of over it, kind of tired of it, to be honest with you. I think some of it is just farming engagement for him. Like his posts just don't make any sense when it comes to Bitcoin. It's just not even comical anymore. I used to find it funny back in the day, but he's been doing this forever. And again, Peter Schiff is actually a guy I have a tremendous amount of respect for. I agree with a lot of his views on things, but he comes out and comments on Bitcoin. When he comes out and comments on Bitcoin, the way that he does, it's just not funny anymore. It's not entertaining. It just makes me want to unfollow him. Like, it's just not value added. So again, I don't know what happened in the market today, but I will be curious. I'm going to look for some news-driven events, but nothing to be concerned about, though. Again, I always will say what I've said before, zoom out when in doubt. We've been, kind of similar to what I said back in this time period here. We've been nothing but an upward trajectory since back here in October. So to see some sort of a pullback here would be not surprising. I mean, if you come back here, take a look at this. This is what I remember having conversation with my family about this. And I remember telling you guys this. We were talking about key levels on the S&P. We had a 11% pullback after we had one of the most epic runs up in the S&P, right? Here, if we saw some sort of a 10% pullback, maybe we do. Maybe we get something down in this area here. Now, where I do actually see some confluence, interestingly enough, we're not going to look at some fib retracements. I just want to entertain some areas of price confluence in the S&P. Great question, by the way, by Oof. There really is a zone here. Actually, I want to condense price action. If we go to a 2-week, maybe. Yeah, there is an area right here. I'm seeing some wicks. You see how I identified this area here? I'm actually going to identify a region. Obviously, we topped here, so I'll build a region here. But actually, I'll build it from this wick here, slightly above here. Now, the reason that I put this line here, you can see the interaction with the candlestick body, the wick, and the wick. So it wouldn't surprise me to come back down anywhere into this range. And if we did that, you're talking about upwards of a 10% correction. So that and wouldn't surprise me either to scare people out of the market. Again, I still am expecting further upside in the stock market and crypto without question. So, but not sure what happened at the end of the day here. Let's see. I know Jorge had a question. I want to get back to my man here because he had a question from yesterday that carried over. Did we save this chart? No, we did not. I was charting this coin earlier this morning, and I was considering taking a position, and then I was like, no, I'm done allocating in different coins. Like, I own what I own. I'm not fucking around with other coins. I feel very good about my allocation, so I don't really feel like fucking around with stuff. Okay, so the last time we had charted this, and we're going to focus on the weekly here, we're going to take some of these areas of support off here. We've been charting this one for a while now on this live stream. This is ticker symbol NXRA. By the way, Black Oil, I did see your positive feedback there on the alpha that I am providing. Thank you for the testimony, brother. So I know without question the last time we had charted this, we were somewhere around here because this area was a red area of resistance, okay? Now we have flipped it for a green area of support. Now we can only confirm this as a flip from resistance to support, an RS flip as it's called. We can only do the RS flip, resistance to support, after the confirming candlestick. So we had this candle body blast above it, but then this is the preceding candlestick. This is the candlestick, has to stay above this area, and it did. So we can flip that area into an area of support at 19 cents. Jorge, this is looking like an extremely strong chart. And you can see beautiful. And I'm sure we talked about this before. Nice rounding base, strong move up. We consolidate, we blast through, we're consolidating, and I would expect further upside, my friend. I mean, the only area of, you look left, there's no price confluence, man. There's the only area of resistance is right here. Your guess is as good as mine as how high this thing can go. You got 28, 29 cents as your area of resistance. Looks great. So ideally what I'd want to see price maintain itself. I'm sure this is maybe a lower market cap, perhaps. Not familiar. But if you do get some volatility wicks or something like that, ideally I'd like to see price maintain itself roughly between 16 and 19 cents. And again, even if you pull down to 16 cents and you come in here, guys, what are we doing? We're continuing to build those higher lows, and we're continuing to build the higher highs, right? So basic building blocks of a bullish narrative, as I always say on this channel. So chart looks awesome, my friend. Good plan, sticking with it. Good turnaround. Todd, thank you for the super chat, my friend. Never expected, always appreciated. Thank you very much for your continued support. Some of you guys, you guys show up every single day to watch me. I am astounded that you. I really appreciate that you appreciate. I appreciate you, motherfuckers. I appreciate you, motherfucker. All right. What else we got? Oh, I thought that was a ticker symbol at first, Rashid. CCBG. No, that's the corporate crypto bull god. Yeah, having, that reminds me that having is coming up, and I did reach out to Tony the Bull BTC about coming back on the live stream, and he's excited to come back on, which is awesome to hear. I wanted the emphasis of that live stream, and I think we talked about this before, and I'll run it by him and make sure he's still cool with it. But I wanted the emphasis of that live stream to talk about cycle analysis. So I want to get his thoughts on the halving. I want to get his thoughts on where Bitcoin is at from a cyclical nature. And it should be a really good live stream. So I need to reach out to him very shortly, because I wanted to have that live stream right around the halving date. And the Bitcoin halving technically isn't it on a Thursday? Let's see here. Bitcoin halving. For some reason, I thought I remembered it being on a Thursday, the 19th. I have pretty good memory. It's a Friday. So right now it is slated for Friday, huh? I don't know that we're going to have him on a live stream on a Friday. I don't think he's going to want to do that. I don't know that I'm going to want to do that like Friday at 5 o'clock. Maybe I could have him come on Thursday. It's a great idea. I should reach out to him 2 weeks from today on the 18th. Not a bad plan. But really excited to have him come back on. He's such a nice guy and really smart. Puts out great content. So, wow, you're even more into CAS than I am. 65% of your portfolio is in CAS. I'm not that high in a percentage, but hoping I don't end up on the street. Let's fucking go. Caspa, look, like I said, it's the largest altcoin holding that I have. So I am extremely... confident on that. Oof. Strong beer, guys. Strong Michelob Ultra. No, I haven't. Juan, good question. The RWA narrative. I haven't really looked into it. I've been paying attention to some of the talk because real-world assets, for those that aren't familiar. The RWA narrative, I know some of the projects that are linked to it. I think it is important to pay attention, and I think Rio is actually in there as one of those assets, and I haven't been evaluating that chart and considering taking a position. But again, I think, and this is why I hit on meme coins, guys. Again, and I've been very open about this, and I've routinely spoken about this on this channel. My viewpoint on social tokens and meme coins has changed dramatically versus a year ago, even many months ago, okay? It's very important to understand the stronger narratives in this space. It's what's going to get eyeballs, attention, and where capital is going to flow in. So I'm not saying that it isn't a very smart idea to have a portion of your asset allocation in real-world assets, RWA sector. It's just, I look at my portfolio and I think to myself, like, I'm very well positioned at this point. So unless if something dramatically changes with one of my assets, or yeah, if something dramatically changes with one of my assets, I just don't want to shift things around at this point and start juggling positions. I don't want to do that. So, and CBG does have a finite amount of capital he can invest in crypto like everyone else. So it's not like I have 100,000, an extra 100K sitting by that I can just throw into RWA. Golden Alpha. It's like the golden logo, brother. Yeah. Do you think BTC would pull back with SPY if we see that 10% correction? You know, that's an interesting question. I was thinking about that as I was actually charting it out. For some reason, I thought that during this correction, Bitcoin was going sideways. Remember how the stock market and crypto tend to be positively correlated, and then some of that positive correlation went away when the stock market during this period was rising and Bitcoin was going choppy. And I said, guys, Bitcoin will catch up, crypto will catch up to the rest of the market, and it did. Well, the stock market really wasn't doing much. Crypto went on an explosive run and did exactly what I thought it would. I forget, quite honestly, from July to October. Let's use a case study from the last correction. What did we do? I honestly forget. I don't remember. Looks like we did see a pullback. But then the thing is, if you actually look at this, we didn't bottom here. We bottomed here in the end of October. And if you go to Bitcoin's chart, in the middle of October, we already started moving up. So we actually started moving ahead of the S&P here. So in general, if we just want to use that as our one sample size here, again, just because the stock market is correcting, it doesn't necessarily mean that crypto has to correct, but there does tend to be a positive correlation. So what you could see, if you do see some sort of a pullback in the stock market, you could see perhaps even less of a pullback in crypto, and maybe crypto takes off first before the stock market, just like last time. So there's a whole host of scenarios. And I appreciate the question, by the way, Oof. I think it's great that you're asking these questions. It means that you're giving a critical eye to the charts and really attempting to understand the market as best as you can. Totally appreciate that. One thing I would caution you on is not to to make sure that you're always keeping it stupid simple. So don't throw too many charts at yourself that you begin to kind of confuse and feel discombobulated on where you stand in the market, right? Really make sure that there are a handful of charts that you mainly focus on, and that's what's guiding your view from a macro perspective, right? Because you could, if you look at too many charts and ask, well, what about this and what about this? It becomes paralysis by analysis, okay? And this is coming from a data guy. So I'm not saying you're doing that. Just make sure that you're staying true to keeping it stupid simple. So great question. Glad to see that you're thinking outside the box here and critically thinking through things. I just wouldn't be overly concerned about it. Okay, got another question coming in from Oof. There's Evan blowing up the comments. Knew I could count on you, Evan. Welcome in. Let's try to tone it down there, brother. Wojak. All right. Wojak. This is a new one. We have not charted this one. Interesting, Oof. Interesting. You know, you guys, some of you guys come up with some really interesting charts. This is an interesting chart. You can see when I get the smile on my face when you guys ask me to chart something here. This is nice. Nice. Real nice. All right, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Real nice. What the hell am I talking about? There is a this is what happens when you work remotely too long and you're by yourself, I guess. I don't know. My social interactions at the gym. Sometimes it's funny. I think people think I'm bipolar at the gym. I go from looking like I'm super angry to unexpectedly going up to people and joking with people. I don't think people that don't know me don't suspect it. There's a nice rounding bottom coming in here, which is turning into a parabola. How many times have we looked at charts and spoken about a parabolic price move that has come in? Okay, so that is one of the other things that I see. Now, there's obviously the other thing we can point to real quick here. I don't want to leave it on the chart, but the other thing we can point to here is obviously this ascending line to assess strength within the move. Again, if we break this ascending line of support, it's not the end of the world, guys. It's not the end of the world. It's just if we can hold this ascending line, think of it this way, the sharper the angle is on the ascending line, like this versus this expresses greater strength in the move versus a line that's going like this, right? So if we hold this line, great. It's expressing a high degree of strength within the chart. The higher lows are coming in at a higher price level, so it's great. But it doesn't need to hold. This is on the weekly. Okay, price indicators are what they are, but let's focus on price action. Awesome chart that you're sharing here, Oof. Really glad that you brought this one up. I'm digging it. I haven't looked at Meme AI lately. How's Meme AI doing, my friend? Maybe we should take a look at that. I don't know. I haven't looked at it. Again, I threw an immaterial amount of money at it, so I'm going to cast a wide net. I thought of something very inappropriate that I'm just going to keep to myself. Sometimes it's shit that goes through my head. There's a really wide range here. Now, ideally, the area that I'd like to see hold, actually, I'm going to bring this up. I'd like to see this region hold, okay? So we can come all the way down to here, and I don't really care. Again, we're creating higher lows, right? Higher lows, higher lows. So that's your region right there. It looks like it's between, it's the 0.26. You can read off the decimals for yourself, but 0.26 to 0.43. In terms of areas of resistance, obviously we got a little wick there. We can put the resistance there. Looks like we have another one. So why did I draw this one? You might ask yourself. And actually, I'll put it right there. It's perfect. I love this area of resistance right here at 0.57. And the reason is because I get excited when I chart something out and I've got the candle bodies, I got 2 wicks, and I have another wick, and another wick. I have 6 weekly candle areas of price confluence on that line. So 0.57, this is a strong area right around this point. And then obviously you got the all-time high. So that's how I would draw it. But this thing looks great. This looks like it's in a true trend reversal to the upside. Again, anything, for me, if I was looking to establish a position or increase my position, anything in this area looks good to me. Looks good, man. Looks good. I got a really smart audience. Some of the charts you guys show me, I haven't seen a shitty chart in a while. Anybody got a shitty chart out there you want me to take a look at? Wojak is a 20 million market cap. Do you think Ethereum memes will pump like Sol meme coins if and when ETH outperforms Solana? Meme AI had some selling but got a nice recovery. I'm diamond hands. All right. No, I'm right there with you, my brother. I'm not selling it. I'm not selling it. So if the thing decides to 50x, to the moon. So here are my thought on meme coins. Short answer is all your memes are going to pump. Longer answer is yes, when Ethereum does pump, I do believe you're going to have some Ethereum memes outperform your Solana memes. But if I had to take an educated guess for this cycle, I think the Solana memes in general will perform better than the Ethereum memes. And that is why, and if you actually look, case in point, guys, case in point. I saw Max over at Because Bitcoin, who I recently just started following, and I do catch their live stream here and there, which I think they do a very nice job. I disagree with him in terms of his views on which meme coin is the strongest. And the rationale that I've been providing on Twitter for a while now, I mean, I think it's just cut and dry. I mean, all you have to do is look at the chart. Didn't I? Well, that's disappointing because I had this drawn out. Oh, fuck me. Oh, I don't know about that. I could make another inappropriate joke. I think I had this reversed, and then I think the lines will be there. Yeah. So ignore the values over here. It's fucked up because I put... This is nonsensical. I should have multiplied this by a bunch of zeros, 0.00001 instead of like 100,000. But anyway, if you look at this, you essentially had a bull flag / ascending triangle that is now broken to the upside. And I've been posting about this for a while on Twitter. And it's why, now I hold Pepe and I hold width. But I've been saying for weeks that width, based on this chart, will most likely outperform Pepe. And I would not be shocked to see width within the top 15 to 20, which would put it substantially higher from where it's at today. Substantially higher. There will be at least one meme coin that breaks into the top 20 that isn't there today and is going to make at least a run for the top 10. All you have to do is go to the prior cycle. You look at Shiba Inu, okay? And the story, again, if we look at the narrative and we look at the price structure of Solana, it's all been about Solana, right? Now, again, Ethereum's going to catch up. Ethereum's not dead. People are acting like Ethereum's not going to do anything. Again, I'm still, I'm going to revisit my targets, but I still think $8,000 to $12,000 Ethereum is very reasonable, okay? Ethereum's going to be just fine. But if you ask me which ecosystem has the stronger narrative, and then you ask me from a charting perspective, and you look at the king altcoins, king meme coins, this cycle that are associated with each project, Swift is the stronger performer. And so I have allowed this chart to guide my investment strategy in terms of which meme coin I have more value in. And I have a significant amount more in width than Pepe. Absolutely. We shall see. So I hope that was a pretty robust answer. You got rid of Pepe completely. Well, hopefully you own at least one meme coin, even if it's Doge or like I own Doge. I mean, hopefully you own Doge or something, because I think it's important to have at least one social token in your meme coin in your portfolio. We'll see, man. It's been number 2 for a while. Again, I hesitate to say any of these coins that have been in the top 10 now for quite some time, they're just going to die. I mean, I'm not, and again, this is all conjecture. I think it's interesting conversation, but I'm not here. I think it's interesting, and we can have maybe we could talk about it in the CBG podcast actually at some point, but which I was actually thinking of doing this week. But I'm not here to tell you which of these coins 5 years from now is going to be number 1 or in the top 10 or whatever. We're worried on these next handful of months here and what's going to happen this year and going into next year. So, guys, I think that's going to do it. I think I answered all of the questions that came in, and I hope you found it helpful. Thank you for the super chats, for the 2 of you guys that super chatted me. Thank you for all of the engagement. Appreciate it very much. I will be back tomorrow, should be back tomorrow. And given I am back tomorrow, which I'm expecting to be, I don't really know what time I'll be live tomorrow like I typically am on Fridays. So I might be out and about tomorrow. So I don't really know what time I'll be there. So go back to benching. All right, guys. Everybody have a good evening, a good morning, a good afternoon, wherever you're at. I know DT's having his sip of coffee right now. So, guys, take care of yourselves. Always good to see you. Take care, and should see you back here tomorrow, all right? Patience, guys, patience. We're on the precipice, guys. I can literally fucking smell it, okay? Can smell it. Just stay patient and allow the charts to continue to develop over these coming weeks, all right? Take care, everyone. Until next time, let's all spread the motherfucking education and awareness, and let's carry that shit forward. All right. Take care, everybody.